Today, the World Health Organization officially announced that this is a global pandemic.
We're expecting an update on federal measures to tackle the COVID-19 crisis. The Prime Minister is in self-isolation at his home. His wife, Sophie Gregoire, is also.
Over the last week, we've seen significant changes in what COVID-19 means for the country. Every day, we've had new updates for Canadians.
We started, at first was where the 50 people were still allowed, and then it went down further, and then 5 people and whatnot.
I did not want to sit at home in my office and broadcast this message and looking at 4 walls. I don't want to do that. I want to see some living creatures. And we have some living creatures here. And people listening in can't even tell how few we are here. And the only reason I'm telling you that, in case you're driving by, so that you know we are only 44 here.
So then we had these drive-in services, and the police came and they found no breaking of the law in any shape or form, and they said enjoy.
Thank our authorities that have given us this okay this morning and came here and said it's all right. We are glad, we are thankful. The community contacted me recently and said, Pastor, what are you doing leading a flock in a difficult time like this? Can you please expound, how are you doing it? So I told them about our chat. I told them how we do it. I told them we're in contact with the authorities to make sure that we're complying wherever we possibly can.
And then after that, we got a call from them the Monday after the second time, and they told us that no, it actually breaks the law.
Police say a local pastor could be charged if he preaches to worshipers in their cars this Sunday amid provincial emergency orders.
The police had no problem with it whatsoever. Like we said, they were there before. But why that all of a sudden changed was because of the Facebook postings that people do, and we all know how much value, how much weight they carry. But anyway, so they responded to that, and the police thought that there was so many calls that came in, I think it was 15, so they thought that that was enough reason to shut us down, I guess.
To bring his congregation together last Sunday, Hildebrandt led a service seen in this drone photo taken by a church member. Throughout the worship, he says parishioners were told to stay inside their parked vehicles with the windows up to ensure safety amid COVID-19. The congregation listened to the service via a low-wattage FM radio signal. But as it was ongoing, Aylmer police report 15 complaints were made by residents worried the gathering violated orders of no more than 5 people in one spot.
People were driving by and making assumptions, and we followed that all Sunday afternoon. So we were not surprised when the police said that. We knew exactly where he got his information from, was Facebook. People said, well, there was nobody in the car. We were all in our cars. The building was closed. So that was an assumption they made, and that's what the police chief based his information off of.
Parishioners are now being warned, if they gather again, action will be taken.
Our last resort is to actually lay a charge. We don't want to go down that road, but certainly if we have to go down that road, then that's the step that we're prepared to take at this point.
What's going to happen next Sunday? Are you going to hold the service again?
Well, we are still waiting to hear back from our local MPP's office. We're hoping that we can go back there with permission as we did before.
Just as the sign says, the congregation of the Church of God in Aylmer hopes to meet this Sunday. Yet its pastor, who spoke from this platform last Sunday, knows if they do, his followers will be in violation of a provincial emergency order. But Pastor Henry Hildebrandt says it may be time to make a stand.
Can you hear me wave at me? I recognize your waves. We belong together. We've been together a long time, haven't we? We've gone through all kinds of things, and we're going on regardless of what happens.
Police in Ontario say charges will be laid after a drive-in church service was held in violation of the province's COVID-19 restrictions. Dozens of worshipers gathered in their cars at the Church of God in Aylmer. Police officers were also in attendance, gathering evidence on video, but the local pastor says he isn't worried. He says it's no different from a gathering of cars at a grocery
Ontario
store.
police had a different idea. They were filming every car going in. They were filming the service and now have handed it over to the Crown prosecutors. And the Crown is now reviewing the evidence, which means watching a church service, which I guess can't
defied provincial physical distancing orders today, despite warnings that they would be breaking the rules. The church went ahead with a drive-in service this morning. And although no tickets were issued, police say charges...
Coronavirus cops have struck again. I'm here at the Church of God. The police were monitoring a service that took place here because there was a congregation, but get a load of this, folks, it wasn't a congregation of people actually in the church physically.
I think it's very clear, and I think it will become more clear as it goes through the courts. We broke no law. What we broke yesterday was a local chief's interpretation of the law.
And I noticed that you even had signs telling people to put their windows up. So even if there was a possibility that someone would say the windows being down posed a risk, you seem to have gotten ahead of that one.
We were ahead of that one. We were very, very careful. We were actually the safest place in town at that point.
Jesus Christ died for you. He came from heaven. He gave his life so that you could be set free. Yes, sir.
I just saw these souls at the parking lot beside the road, and I was so sad to see that they were chasing them away. I thought, just leave them there. Why don't you just close the road? Let's just have service everywhere, because this is our chance to hear from God.
I can hardly wait till next Sunday. Lord willing, if the Lord gives us life and breath, Lord willing, next week come again, park on the street or the parking lot, wherever you would like, and let's hear the word of God, and let's be edified, and let's be a beacon of hope. People are desperate. They don't know where to turn. Oh, that preachers would be preachers. Oh, that pastors would be pastors. Oh, that we would be fearless to stand where we need to stand. God help us. God bless you all. I love you dearly.
Aylmer police say they will not be laying charges following a drive-in church service. Just a week ago, police said enforcement would proceed if the church violated the COVID-19 ban on gatherings of more than 5 people. CTV's Sean Irvin now with reaction and what happens next in a story that has attracted national attention over religious freedoms.
It is a video that sparked debate across Canada. The Church of God in Aylmer holding a drive-in service this past Sunday in defiance of COVID-19 gathering laws and local police. But the church and its growing list of faith and legal supporters continue to argue they are doing nothing wrong.
The responses we have gotten from all over the country is exactly that, is that many people have expressed, whether it's in text or email or phone call, and have said, we know what you feel, we know, and you are right. That's the way it is. So we are definitely not alone.
That's why I'm saying this issue now goes far beyond me or our church. This affects all of us. When we put the police in front of the church building to make sure nobody enters, but we have the liquor store open, that to me is now we're talking. This is serious. It's not about me or our church. It's about religious freedom, and that's very serious.
Another showdown over this issue appears to be looming in this parking lot Sunday, unless a political change comes first.
Brethren, I'm glad you came to the battle.
Today, Pastor Henry Hildebrandt made it perfectly clear through his preaching that he is spoiling for a fight.
And I don't mean a physical battle. I don't mean a violent battle. Not at all. I'm saying a battle between the right and the wrong.
As you said, we are not dealing with people. We're wrestling not with flesh and blood. Right. And I think that's what a lot of people don't understand. They think, be nice, don't get together. But behind that, we definitely see something else. What spiritual warfare do you see that maybe people don't understand?
That's what really gets me going, is do we not realize what is being taken away from us?
This morning I stand here, I can't believe my eyes. The store in front of me right there, the store is open and the church building is closed. I'm asking you, where have we come to?
So then I hear the words and I thought, did I hear right? A liquor store, essential. Beer store, essential. Church, non-essential. So by that, we're saying God, not essential.
Excuse me, people, and with no fight? Let me ask you again, Excuse me, people, with no sign at all.
If I can't be in the building, then I can at least be out here. At least I can be out here. Church time. It's Sunday morning, folks. And we are not giving in for the Philistine. I'm talking about the devil. We are standing for God.
As for law enforcement, we saw a unmarked car observing the service.
There haven't been any charges laid. We don't know if that's going to happen. We know that we suspect that they were under careful watch today.
Comes to me with a sword and with a spear and with a shield. But we as Christians in the whole world, we as Christians in Elgin County, we as Christians in Canada, we are coming in the name of the Lord.
I can't stand still when I hear Goliath speaking. I just can't do it. Is there not a cause? I'm confident. We've got at least 5 stones. Spiritually speaking, we can do it.
As the pastor said, he will be back here next Sunday at 10:30 here at the Church of God in Aylmer, Ontario.
He will never fail you when the doubts assail you. He'll be with you day and night.
I don't want to hear the words, send them away. I don't want to hear the words, listen, just go somewhere, listen into somebody somewhere, just watch somebody somewhere. I cannot say, send these people away. I can't do it. I know it's a desert place in this world.
People have asked me, well, couldn't you just broadcast the service? Couldn't you just do the live stream? Yes, we're well familiar with that, but it makes a world of a difference, If you pull up on the parking lot and you have your Sunday clothes on and the little ones are in the back there and waving at you and they see their pastor and I see them
honk. Yep. I saw them wave. They drove by. I saw them smile. That does more than live stream does for you.
It's moving to just be able to, we go from there, we feel, well, I'm a preacher, so I speak like a preacher, so we feel well fed in our souls. The Bible says man shall not live by bread alone.
But man needs the heavenly bread. And Jesus is telling us today, give ye them to eat. What are they supposed to eat of? They depend on us to give them to eat.
Our government recognizes the importance Ontarians place in participating in religious gatherings. It's absolutely critical that we move forward with this, and we did. That's why our government amended the regulations to allow Ontarians to attend religious gatherings in the following conditions. Individuals must remain in a car.
What a special day for the churches of Ontario. This is the day that the Lord hath made. Let us be glad.
The Church of God in Aylmer didn't have to worry about any interruptions to their service this morning. That's because late Saturday, the province made drive-in sermons legal. CTV's Brent Lill has the story on the fight, which is a win for all religious faith groups in Ontario.
The excitement was palpable at the Church of God in Aylmer this morning.
Now you see what happens when we stand together in the middle of a crisis. In the middle of a crisis, we united, we stood together, and here we are this morning. Thank God for it. To God be the glory.
They received news Saturday that the province had approved drive-in faith-based services as long as they stay.
Have a very special thank you to our Premier, Doug Ford, and his cabinet. Thank you for working hard for us, even on a long weekend. Now, this weekend is very special.
It brought an end to a 5-week showdown between Pastor Henry Hildebrandt, the parishioners, Ontario's Emergency Measures and Civil Protection Act, and the local police department.
Did you know that in the olden days, even the kings would go to the prophet and say, tell us, which way should we go? I think there should be regular meetings between church leaders and the other leaders.
We were definitely spearheading this whole thing. We were kind of put in that situation. But I don't regret it. It needed to be done.
This is an amazing victory this morning and a very positive first step in the right direction to open up the churches all across this country.